everybody. Hello, friends, Facebook world. It's Andrea here. It's been a while since I hopped on and did one of these lives, so bear with me here because I'm looking. This format is totally different. It's a learning curve at first, right? So yeah, I posted about my date Friday and told you guys that I wanted to hop on and just share some things that have been in my world recently. And one of those big things has been realizing last summer, when I would hear the word responsibility, I literally would feel this ick in my body. And I was like, what the heck is that? Right? Why does responsibility trigger that in my body? And why do I feel like that? So I've had a lot of learning curves, as we all do in this journey, and most people don't want to admit it, but your journey is more spiritual than you realize. That doesn't mean you're religious. It's a totally different concept, but I won't go off on a tangent about that right now. So anyway, yeah, with responsibility, I realized that there are so many places in my life where I wasn't really accepting responsibility. I had bought into all of the new age spirituality teachings about how, you just put your wish and your command out there and things just fall into your lap. And it's bullshit. I had to learn the hard way. So I want to share it with you guys so you guys can know that that doesn't work that way. You have to accept responsibility for your journey. And for me, a big part of that was all of the trauma from my childhood and all of the things that happened to me I had made more significant in my life than they really needed to be because I wasn't willing to accept, from my perception, okay, my soul had lessons to learn this lifetime, and I chose to learn those lessons. I may not have chosen how they played out, but I needed to accept responsibility for the fact that this is my journey, and how I come out of it and how I um, adjust through all of it is up to me. So, one of those huge things around responsibility was setting up boundaries, and I had to get to a point where I was willing to quit selling myself short with connections in my life was the main scenario that came up for me. And it was, the lesson was just look, you keep sacrificing what your standards are and what you value about yourself for other people because you're looking for that validation outside of yourself. And I was literally I had done 3 to 4 years of inner work on this before all of this happened. So I was really blown away. It just ran so deep. So it was a really good lesson to learn that and to understand that accepting responsibility for me and my life and what I'm creating, my money flows, all of that comes from acknowledging that I have to value myself first and not let anything get in the way of that. I have to have my own back and have that unshakable confidence in myself before I can bring in all of the things that I'm asking and wanting in my life, right? So, when I was mentioning abandoning myself, it would be another way that that showed up for me was, I had started my business back in 2018. I was doing energy healing sessions, and for the first year, it was fun and it was insightful, and I was meeting cool people. But I got to this point where it didn't light me up anymore. I found myself giving people discounts, or coming up with packages that saved them money, or being at the beck and call of clients, and just they'd call me and want a session and I'd go do it right that second. So I started to see all of these patterns of where I was abandoning myself, and I was also chasing after the money part of it. So that's been a big part of this as well, where I was being a slave to the money and where I was consistently doing this work that, yes, it was fun, but it didn't light me up. And I was only at one point, I was really only doing it because I was so wrapped in the thought that security comes from money only. We have to have that money. And I know I'm not alone in this thought. So what I was doing is in September, I was told like I was communicating with my business and I was hearing, you've tamed yourself. You don't allow that truth serum that you have to come through you with these clients. You're not really being truthful and not really stepping into like your role, and that's part of your role is to be the truth speaker, like to say the hard things that people don't want to hear. And so what happened was that like triggered me into this whole new role of recreating my business and restructuring all of it. And I'm still in that process, of developing it, and just have really learned that a part of me I was avoiding money in some ways to avoid judgment. Like how many times, growing up did I hear, rich people are assholes and rich people this and money is the root of all evil, and like there's so much around the whole money story for me, like even to the point where I could go to the grocery store and get groceries and I'd get like a trigger in my gut. Like there would be a ping there of like fret and worry. Like, oh my God, I'm spending money on food. Oh my God, I'm spending money on this. I'm spending money on that. So it's been it's been a fun ride because I've been being led down a completely different path, learning a completely new way of, I guess, functioning around money and understanding that I am not here on this planet to make people comfortable. And I am here to speak the truth. I am here to say the things that I feel are important and need to be said. So, like, trusting myself and really understanding that that security that I've been looking for in other people and in money, like, that all comes from within myself. And it's an energetic pattern. It's not anything, um, like, substantial as far as, like, a piece of matter in this reality. It's an energy and a way of functioning and a way of being. So, yeah, those are some of the highlights of like the last few months and what I'm learning and going through. And I just really wanted to share those with everybody, see if anybody relates to that. Ben, I'm going to read your comment. You say, the more you value and respect yourself and boundaries, you can attract the right people in your life. Plus side, the negative people tend to distance themselves from you. It's not always easy, but your example reminds me it's doable. Yes, absolutely. Because I've learned and I have found a tribe that is like unlike no other. I actually asked for this tribe to show up about 2 years ago, a little less than 2 years ago. And it's exactly that, Ben. It's a group of people who they call me out on my shit when I need to hear it. Okay? But they do it from a space of love and truth. And at the same time, there's no control behind it. There's no judgment. There's no, you know, you're wrong. You're doing this wrong. It's just like, hey, you're not seeing this part of it. You're making certain things more relevant than really have to be. And so that's been an awesome thing to discover as well. I feel like I actually don't feel, I know that the more we step into our true being and like authenticity of who we are, and the more that we allow ourselves to express that and also to uh, be in a space of standing in what you value, then the more that does, definitely, it's the whole like magnetic thing. It makes you magnetic for the people who are going to have your back in a way that's required in a totally different concept of what like we think love is. Like this is the kind of love that it is unconditional and pure, and there's no like attachment to their like what they get from holding that space for you. Not even holding that space, that's not the right word. From what there's no attachment to what they get from being the reflection of your pure truth to you. That's like they're reflecting your pure truth and letting you see those things. So it's been an awesome, awesome journey so far. And yeah, I have a program that I'm creating that's going to be, I'll probably drop it this month at some point. I don't have an exact date, but we're going to be going into a lot of this. And the title of that program is Unbecoming Money's Bitch. Because think about all of the ways that we live our life based off of money and what it provides and the security we think it gives us, the things we do, the things we discount ourselves on. There's so much there. So, yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. If it intrigues you, feel free to reach out to me. You'll see more about it in my upcoming posts. And it was cool to jump on today. I have been a little resistant with doing this live thing. I have some learning curves and some things to move past, so I'm going to do my best to start doing this more. And I hope everybody has an awesome Sunday. Sunday is like one of my favorite days of the week for many reasons, but yeah, enjoy it and get out and soak up some of that sunshine. And I will see you guys around, okay?